Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. Today we're going to be playing Blue-White Familiars. This deck has been my favorite deck for a long time, and I've been noticing that removal spells have been pretty good against Blue-Black Terror, but I've been having a hard time playing the right removal spells in the main deck. So I was talking about it with a bunch of people, and I'm thinking that just Destroy Evil is probably what we want to have, because Destroy Evil is going to blow up their 5/5s, and it's going to blow up enchantments and do a lot for us overall. So I was thinking, how can I fit this removal spells in my deck overall? And I think I'm going to go one main and one sideboard. And then for the other change I'm making here is I'm going to put one Last Breath in the main. So the Destroy Evil can kill the big creatures, the Last Breath can kill the small creatures. And then we're going to take out the last snap here for an Echoing Truth. I'm removing the Prismatic Strands from the main deck, and Echoing Truth is going to sort of fill that slot against Coldotha Rebirth decks because it's going to clear the tokens. And then I'm playing one Dawnbringer Cleric here, so I have 5 life gain type creatures, plus the Last Breath to gain life in a pinch if we need. The rest of the deck is relatively similar, but I'm basically taking the 2 Prismatic Strands and using these 2 removal spells, and then changing that snap into an Echoing Truth. In the sideboard here, I'm going to be playing one more Last Breath and one more Destroy Evil. So I noticed that there was a lot of walls lately, and both Last Breath and Destroy Evil can actually help against them specifically. The rest of the sideboard, we're playing 2 Dispels. I think Dispel is probably one of the best cards versus the Terror deck because it's countering all of their interaction, or almost all of it. It's not countering a Chainer's Edict, but that's not something that matters that much. And then one more Dawnbringer Cleric, because Dawnbringer Cleric provides a roadblock against something like Coldotha Rebirth, and also can help against graveyard-based decks like Tron and stuff like that. So Dispel plus Dawnbringer Cleric might help there. And then I have 4 Dust to Dust and 2 Revoke Existence. Dust and Revoke are some of the best cards that you can play against the Affinity strategy. Obviously, Dust to Dust on turn 3 is the best. And then Dispel here is going to help back up our Dust to Dust. So we can draw into Dust to Dust plus Dispel and then jam it on turn 4 and counter their interaction, so we can set them back a lot. I think that's it for the deck for the changes. Otherwise, everything's pretty similar to normal. And if this goes well, I'll go ahead and write up a sideboard guide. I do have a sideboard guide of Blue-White Familiars already, and we'll see how this works for the rest of the meta here. But that you can find on the Patreon, patreon.com/CaliGuys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the matches. Round 1, we're going to mulligan. We don't have any lands, and here we're going to keep this and just get rid of 1 familiar. I hear that this person is a Pro Tour player. Rash. Land go. They're on Naya gates, probably. So we're looking to play a turn 2 or turn 3 familiar holding up Prohibit or lose focus. They grab their Basilisk Gate. Still think that's the plan. We have to get our white mana on the table. Alright, they play a Heap Gate. And nothing. Good for me. They make a treasure token on my upkeep for some reason. We can, we play the familiar here and pass. Although I guess I shouldn't have S6 because they could have had Lightning Bolt. Let's see what they have. Maybe they'll play out a 4-drop. Okay, counter. They're Smash to Dust, which can kill my wall because it's a defender. But not this time. God Pharaoh's Faithful here, and then we just preordain, start gaining our life, and setting up our draws. We have Modern Age into Deep Analysis. I think I'll do that. Discard the DA. Let's just flash it back. I don't think the loose focus is going to be very good as a mana leak here, so I'm just going to play it out. Okay, so what does this do? Gain some life. Alright. We will discard Ash Barrens. Play Broker's Hideout for an island. Jam a Mole Drifter. Usually I want to be getting more blue lands in play. So now they can attack and I'll block with the Mole Drifter and I can play the Mortuary Mire. So they're just basically putting a billion gates in play. If we draw into our Destroy Evil or Last Breath, we can take out this Gatekeeper creature. No big deal. So I guess we probably want to lead on the Preordain then. Makes it a 7/9. So we're going to just block. That way I can Mortuary Mire back to Mole Drifter. Use my land drop for value. Our Modern Age is going to turn into a 2/3 here. Come on, Rash. Okay, we draw our second familiar. Okay, after a couple of minutes they let that resolve. We're going to Preordain. I can bottom both of these. Find a Plains. So let's Godfarrow's Faithful into another Preordain. Get a bunch of life. Mancer. So we can get... Almost bottom the land, top the Archaeomancer. I think I'm just going to play out the Archaeomancer here and get back a Preordain. Okay. Nice thing about familiars is that you're just going to gain so much life that it doesn't really matter if they're gating and attacking. We get to go ahead and play another Godfarrow's Faithful and then Preordain. So they're going to Skyfisher back a Gatekeeper Vine and then go get another Basilisk Gate. Sure. And they are going to attack for 8. Okay. Bam. Another Mole Drifter. So, Faithful. Familiar. Mole Drifter. We've got a couple of blockers. We draw a card. Alright, well, let's just Preordain. Gain some more life. There's a Destroy Evil. Bottom, top. So what we can do is Destroy Evil the Gatekeeper, play the Mancer for the Destroy Evil, play the Mortuary Mire, get back to Mole Drifter, hold up the Destroy Evil, then negate their creature, then we blow it up. And then they have nothing. If we draw a Flicker, we just kill everything. 9. 18 damage, sure. No blocks. Kill that. Kill that. Answer. Get back the Destroy Evil. Always yield. Go yes there. Pass. Attack. That was easy. Lose focus, not looking very good at the moment. Would definitely rather have a Prohibit here. They play a Skyfisher. They pick up their Gatekeeper Vine to go get their last gate. Gate Creeper Vine, not Gatekeeper Vine. Alright. Too bad they can't attack with those. Reveals a heap gate, so they're going to start making treasure tokens. So they play a Citadel Gate, and they still have heap gate in hand. We draw into a Drifter. Cast it. Gain a bunch of life. And then what happens? Another Faithful. Let's preordain. And we win. Cool. Easy day. So it seems like most of their creatures will get killed by the Last Breath or the Destroy Evil. The Destroy Evil is going to blow them out when they actually use it. I don't know if there's anything else specifically that we care about. We could play the Revoke Existence for a Relic, but we could also just play around them. I don't think there's any changes needed. Maybe the Snap's not very good. Let's just bring in a bunch more removal spells. See what happens. Actually, the loose focus was bad because they're getting so many lands, so let's bring the Snap back in. That seems fine. Alright. It's a pretty medium hand. We're on the draw. We can cycle for planes and start getting our Faithfuls into play, so I think we're just going to keep it. But the risky part here is that we have 0 card draw whatsoever. And Familiar could get eaten by something. We don't have a way to deal with the Journey or anything right now, but I'm not really sure exactly what kind of removal spells they play. We're just waiting on... They gotta turn off their upkeep stops. Okay. So we find an Ash Barrens, which means that we can play the Familiar, or play the Faithful this turn, and then cycle for an island. Then we can figure it out from there. Okay. They play another gate. Alright. So what gates are these? This is a green gate. Oh, they're playing Abundant Growth. That's cool. Fan favorite card for me. Play out a Familiar. Or a Faithful, sorry. We're passing. I'm going to yield until here. Nothing I can do, and then I'll just cycle for an island. Okay. Grab my island. Play out the Broker's Hideout. We'll grab another island since we drew that. And then play out the Faithful. And pass. They end step make a token. So if they play a creature we can snap, we can go Familiar, snap, and they get Manserf back, snap. They do nothing. I wonder if they're holding Pyroblasts. We can evoke this Muldrifter and then Mortuary Mire back the Muldrifter. So that way if they Pyroblast here, we still just get value. I'm going to draw 2. So this is a nice divination here. What's going on? They make another treasure token. Okay. So I think the plan here is Familiar, pick up the Mire with the Chancery. That doesn't match. Old border. Not old border? Weird. Okay, it looks like they're trying to pay costs. Or not. Okay. Pick this up. Start passing. And on my next turn, I want to go Drifter, Snap, Drifter if I can. Get a lot of cards. They're going to Lightning Bolt, so let's try to counter that. Actually, so if they have two pieces of interaction, I want the familiar on the table, so I'm going to go ahead and try to snap it. And then if they don't have two pieces of interaction, we can kick this Prohibit for a Guardian of the Guild Pact. Looks like they have a treasure token creation. Okay. Alright, pass. We can also play Familiar and then evoke the Drifter and Mortuary Mire back yet again. They do nothing. Sunscape Familiar. Let's go Mancer for Snap. This is kind of a weird situation. They just haven't drawn any creatures whatsoever. And they're going to play out Pyroblast. You have the counter. As I expected with the Pyroblast in hand. Makes a treasure token. So here we'll get back the Prohibit. Wonder if they can do anything where they sacrifice all their treasure tokens and kill me somehow. I don't think so. They're just making a bunch of tokens. I do like that Abundant Growth. Of course, Skyfisher interaction. That's kind of nice. So I'm going to pick up the Abundant Growth and replay the Abundant Growth. That is a fan favorite. Alright. So they turned the Heap Gate into a Rainbow Land. It was already sort of a Rainbow Land. I would probably play the Abundant Growth on the plains. That way, that's just a full-on rainbow. But I guess they don't really need that specifically. Dawnbringer Cleric is going to exile a Snap. Okay. They kill the Familiar. They probably should have played, let's see. Mortuary Mire back the Familiar. Cast Muldrifter? Okay, so I made a mistake there. You probably want to play the Muldrifter first before you play out the Mortuary Mire. Alright. They've got to have Basilisk at some point, right? Still no. Weird. We're at 31 life. We can take a bunch of hits. Just, no blocks? Alright. No attacks. Play Familiar. Chancery. Pick up this. Go ahead and snap the Muldrifter, because we're going to look to draw some cards here. 2 cards in hand for the opponent. I'd be surprised if they had 2 interactive spells, but it seems like they just have lands. We'll play out this Muldrifter. Everyone's just kind of spinning their wheels at this point. Draw some cards. Okay, Destroy Evil and Deep Analysis. So let's DA. I think I'll leave the other one. I'll leave the Deep Analysis in the graveyard. Hold up a Prohibit in case they have a relic. If they have something to kill my Muldrifter, it's no big deal. I'm just going to make more treasure tokens. They have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of mana. Basically, you can just see here that Familiar is just going to dominate a mid-range deck. That's not Affinity. Okay. 3 mana. Okay, I guess I have to counter. Do I even care? So if I don't counter this here, I can't counter Relic, but whatever. We'll just counter it. I would rather get through my deck than have to actually play the Mortuary Mire to get my Familiar back. And then this way, if they have a Basilisk Gate, I can block with the Mold Drifter and then Mortuary Mire it back and draw it. We're going to get rid of the Deep Analysis or the Prohibit. Probably the Deep Analysis. Yep. Plays a land, so there's 0 cards in hand. I'm going to attack with the Mold Drifter. See if they block. Play the Mortuary Mire. They're going to upkeep make a treasure token. Wow. Why? Opponent. Okay. Discard the Brokers. Cast Mold Drifter. Modern Age again. Okay, now we can Last Breath the Skyfisher. So we're going to be able to blow them out once they find their gates regardless. Oh man, finally my familiar has died. Sad times. Let's just get rid of this. That way I can start attacking. We'll discard a land, discard another land, cast Preordain, Drifter Preordain. Let's keep on both. Land, slam and Mold Drifter. I think I'm going to play the Preordain instead of the Modern Age here. And attack. They're at 0 cards in hand. We have 5. And a bunch of card draw and everything. They will continue to make treasure tokens. I mean, okay. Sometimes people will do that just to run the clock. I'm going to counter that. They could have picked up the Dawnbringer and gotten rid of something or blown up my Modern Age or whatever, but that's it. We win the match. We'll see you in the next matches. Here we are in round 2 versus Ito 1. Okay, we're going to keep it again. I like the land hand with just 2 lands. And we have turn 3 Faithful Modern Age. Kind of just depends on what the opponent's on. Looks like they mulligan to 6. Passing. So let's see what their 6 entails. Pass again. Okay, artifact land. So it's got to be Affinity, obviously. We can use Last Breath to kill their Quarkline Shaman forever, but they can just sacrifice stuff in response. Not much else. We can maybe kill a Gixian if they play it without things to start the sacrifice. Pick up this. Preordain. Alright, Modern Age is going to discard Last Breath here. So, I guess I'm keeping the rest of it. We do have a land drop. That's the thing I really like about the Modern Age is that we can just sacrifice things or discard things we're not going to use. Okay, they pass. Faithful. Cast Modern Age. Hopefully. There we go. go ahead and discard this Last Breath. If they play a creature now, we can snap and then Drift or Ephemerate and push ahead really far. Like I said, the Last Breath is not super good here, but the Destroy Evil could be good. Nothing. Okay. What are we going to discard here? I think it's going to be the Modern Age. And then, since they have nothing going on, I'm going to Drift or Ephemerate. Then next turn we'll have 4 power. But we can't attack with any of them because we're going to Ephemerate the Drifter. Alright. Unfortunately, we had to discard the Modern Age there because the Modern Age is definitely a way that we can win the game by pushing our attackers in the air. Alright, now after this we're going to look to hold up a Prohibit. They could just hard cast a Thoughtcast here, or they could Deadly Dispute a land. Alright, they do nothing. They give us all kinds of time. We're looking for Familiar. Ephemerate. We get to draw 2. Familiar. Okay, so land, play at this Familiar. Bounce the Ash Barrens, and then I can snap the Muldrifter, and then Arcanemancer for Ephemerate, or I can just preordain. I think I'm just going to preordain. Alright, definitely don't want the land. We'll keep the Modern Age. And play out the Modern Age, discarding a land. There's a Destroy Evil. We can discard this other land here. We're well set now. We can kill their Mirror Enforcers, get them off the table, and we have 4 power, so we just have to get in a few attacks. We can Mancer for Ephemerate. There's the Thoughtcast. So they have 4 on the table now. Taps for 1. Chromatic Star. So they could Bolt a Familiar or something. We're likely going to discard the Ash Barrens here. Alright, draw a card. So I'm discarding the Deep Analysis. Well, it's a little funky, right? We are just getting some Faithfuls on the board, so we won't die to things. I'm going to attack. I can use the Faithful as a mini ritual combined with Snap. So I'm going to do that. They take 4 and go to 16. Let's snap the Faithful. We're going to untap. Play Mancer. Well, yeah. Play Mancer. Grab that Ephemerate. Then I'm going to Ephemerate for the Snap. That allows me to have the most things that I can do during the turn. Get the Snap. Now I'm going to Faithful and Deep Analysis. I have a lot of options open since I have that Snap in play. Alright. Like I said, we're just trying to get attackers in the air, especially trying to take advantage of their stumbling in the early turns. And then post-board, we're going to try to just dust them out. Can't respond to the Thoughtcast. If the Prohibit were a negate or something, we could respond to the Thoughtcast. Loose Focus would have been still not good in that position. Now they have 6 artifacts in play, so Mirror Force is going to cost 1. Alright, Mirror Forcer is totally fine. Another Mirror Forcer. I like that I can just murder them with the Destroy Evil here. This kills the Mirror Forcer dead. 1 red. So they can kill the Familiar or the Archaeomancer. They go for the Mole Drifter. Let's try to counter that. If they counterspell my counter with a Metallic Rebuke, that's pretty fine for me. Mole Drifter will die. We'll still get in for 2. If you're playing against Familiars, what you want to be doing is taking out the Vector Gliders here, because the Vector Glider I cannot get back with the Mortuary Mire. And they are going to use the Metallic Rebuke. Say no. It's potentially they could have another Galblast and kill my Archaeomancer, but we have Ephemerate for the Prohibit. Looks like they are going to crack for red and kill something. What did they kill? Oh, the Modern Age. They just take out all the flyers. Okay, that makes sense then. They just had 2. It's fine. I would have definitely taken out the Archaeomancer. Ephemerate. Get back Ephemerate. Familiar. Snap this. Mortuary Mire. I'm going to Ephemerate for Snap. Snap the other Mirror Retriever. And then draw some cards and cast a Mole Drifter. So let's Ephemerate for a Prohibit. Cast a Mole Drifter. I'm not going to leave the Destroy Evil open right now, I decided. Draw some more cards. A Snap. Okay. Now we can snap the Faithful. Cast a Mole Drifter. If Echoing Truth now? Okay. We're good. Just discard this Broker's Hideout and another land. All good. They have 5 artifacts. So their first Mirror Force is going to cost 2. The second one's going to cost 1. Now the first one's going to cost 1. The second one's going to cost 0. If they Deadly Dispute here, okay, they cast a Wellspring. Let's just counter it. The reason I'm countering that is so they can't Deadly Dispute it, first of all. And then secondly, they're going to have to do some other stuff. It looks like they're casting a Kenku, which is a really not great choice for them overall, because they're going to make one of these lands into a creature, and then I can Ephemerate for Snap and snap the creature, and then just attack. So they're actually losing a land drop this way. Kenku is extremely bad versus Snap. Okie dokie. We draw some cards. Or we're just going to Ephemerate a couple of times. The way that it stacks in the graveyard is annoying. You always have to click the bottom Ephemerate first. Okay, we get our Ephemerates back. Play a land. Let's go ahead and Ephemerate. Get back Snap. Snap this. There goes your creature. Now, do I care about the Dawnbringer? I think I'm going to Faithful, Modern Age. We have a prohibit in hand anyway. Just discard this land. Go to attacks. 2/2/2. Then I think we just ephemerate for snap and replay a Mulldrifter, and then also the Dawnbringer, just add more to the board. They take 6. Get back the snap. I mean, it is lucky for me to draw both of my ephemerates and for them to stumble, so I'm not going to complain. Cast a Drifter. Okay, and then cast a Cleric. Let's go ahead and do the you gain 2 life mode. So end step, we can Echoing Truth both of their Mirror Enforcers, or just like destroy one with Destroy Evil. I kind of want to save the Destroy Evil now for the makeshift munitions that could potentially come into play. They replay their land, play a Mirror Enforcer. At this point, we don't even have to get the Mirror Enforcers off the board because we have so much life. We have 48 life. It's just like doesn't matter. So we probably have to. We should just like try to counterspell any card draw and stuff. So let's plan on that. Let's cycle here, leaving open all the blue mana. An island. We have no creatures in the graveyard that we care about, or that even exist in the graveyard, because all of our modern ages are enchantments. Get back Ephemerate. So this game is basically over. Answer. Get back Ephemerate. Do it again. Make that a little bit more convenient for myself. Okay, discard the Hideout. There's a possibility that we want to pick up something with the Chancery. We'll just attack. They take 6. I play Mulldrifter. Then I have Ephemerate for Prohibit twice. And we can just discard the Echoing Truth or the Chancery. Likely just... Okay, let's discard this Plains. You don't need the extra Plains. They're at 4, and super dead. So Dawnbringer Cleric's not very good versus Affinity, but Destroy Evil is pretty decent. But Echoing Truth, we cannot get rid of the artifact land like Snap can, because it says just return target non-land permanent, and Snap says return target creature. So when this becomes a creature, you can bounce it, but Echoing Truth cannot bounce the land. We play a land and concede. Easy peasy. Unfortunately, that didn't really show how powerful Affinity is, just because we never faced their good draw. They just like kind of kept a mediocre hand. We're going to get rid of the Dawnbringer in the last breath. I'm going to cut all of the Godfrey's Faithfuls, because my plan is just to try to Ponza them out. I don't think I want the... I'm going to cut the Lose Focus and the Echoing Truth, bring in 2 Dispels, 2 Hydroblast, cutting the 2 Prohibits. What else can we do? Basically, the plan is to try to dust them out. And you could potentially cut a Sunscape Familiar here for that, but I'm not sure what else I would want to bring in. Maybe just another Hydroblast. So we're going all down to 1 mana interaction spells. Lusty Flicker is going to become a lot worse. Oh, I have this other Destroy Evil, of course. That's what I was talking about before, so let's bring that in. So if we don't get to Dust, at least we'll be able to kill some of their creatures. And basically want to just loop Ephemerates. Okay, we have the Revoke Existence. So is this a keep? We're on the draw. If we draw 1 blue land, we're good. Whatever, I'm just going to keep. For science. The Mortuary Mire, turn 2 Revoke Existence on their land. And then we have turn 3 Plains if we draw into a Dust to Dust. This is definitely a gamble of a hand. Just comes down to if I draw a white or a blue land. So we have a bunch of blue sources though. I think we should be okay. Dust to Dust. Wow. What a hand. I feel bad now. I really do. Okay, our plan is to exile this Misfault Bridge so that they can't use a um, Metallic Rebuke on the next turn. This is so bad for them. What a gamble of a hand. This is when you're playing at the LGS and the person's like, I'll keep. Nile Spellbomb. Any lands? No lands. Okay, so I think I'm gonna wait. No, they could have a Metallic Rebuke. Just get rid of their stuff. Let's see if they just have nothing. Turn 4. Do you have a land? Brutal. We never even played a blue source. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is just this is screenshot worthy. Brutal. Okay. All right. See you in the next match. All right, we're here in round 3 versus Moshes. So this looks like it could be good enough, but we really are doing absolutely nothing until turn 3. We could potentially go land, cycle for a plains or an island and hold that up, but then we're not interacting with them until their turn 3. So I think I'm going to mulligan. We'll keep this one and get rid of the Archaeomancer. They're on a burn deck, so I'm glad I mulliganed. I'm going to cycle this for a plains. It gives them information, but I'm just going to be lazy. That way we save some time. So we can run out Dawnbringer Cleric as a blocker. Flame Breather's scary. Flame Breather turns all their bolts into Gale Blasts. Let's play out this Cleric. Gain a little bit of life. And then we can Sunscape Familiar, play Modern Age, pitch Deep Analysis. Looking to draw into a Godfarrow's Faithful, basically. Reckless Impulse. Okay. We find 2 lands. We're going to play out the Great Furnace to increase their artifact count. Alright. Cold Oath Rebirth. We could potentially find an Echoing Truth to get rid of those. But they can't really attack at this point. Snap would be pretty decent. Play the Familiar as a blocker, play Modern Age. Discard the Deep Analysis. I know it's gonna cost life to flashback, but can't really afford to hardcast it right now. So I'm playing. I believe I cut all the Prismatic Strands. Alright, so now they're on 2 artifacts. They still have the Mountain. They decline to play the Mountain. They play the Great Furnace so that their Galvanic Blast is online. Kill a Familiar. 1 card left in hand, though. So on our turn, we're going to want to snap a Goblin token to take it off the board. Or we could snap the Kessig Flame Breather if we think we can counter it coming down. That might be a play as well. Not really sure what they have going on here. They think about casting a spell and then undo it. Maybe they're going to use a blood token. Chancery. Okay. So we can discard the island. Chancery. Pick this up. Snap this. That gives us 1 less creature on the board, even though we're not dealing with the Flame Breather. I'm gonna preordain looking for a faithful. Okay, both of these are decent. So top. Let's familiar, and then play the modern age, discarding the land. So we have another blocker. Next turn we'll have another blocker in play. They discard an Epicure, so they're thinking about playing the Epicure. I have 2 cards in hand, but they don't have Galvanic Blast online. Alright, so once again we're going to get rid of the non-token. So take 2. They're going to Lava Dart, so they're going to try to kill the familiar. We're going to go to 8. But we are going to draw 1 more card and discard. Now we have 2 blockers. A prohibit. Just discard the land. Arcane Answer for snap. Then we can snap and prohibit the Flame Breather maybe. If he does attack with the Flame Breather, I'll just double block it with the Glider and the Cleric. Try to take 1 damage. But 2 bolts would kill me here. They play a land. Okay, we found the familiar. Let's snap this. Let's pressure them a little bit. Three cards in hand for the opponent now. They replay the Flame Breather. I'm just going to counter it. If I find an Ephemerate, we can win the game. Alright, 1 card in hand for the opponent, so I could risk flashing back the Deep Analysis here. Or just play the Mulldrifter. Next turn, Archaeomancer getting back Prohibit. Seems like the best play. We'll get another island to play. And then get back to Prohibit. And swing out. That's 7. So next turn they will be dead. We're holding up a Prohibit. We don't have to counter a Bushwhacker, but they have 3 cards in hand. So it's a little scary. So they're going to cast another Rebirth here. That's fine. But that does turn off of our 2-turn clock. It's preordain. I don't think I want either of these. I guess the Last Breath can potentially help us in a pinch. So we can attack for 1 with 1 creature here, holding up all the blockers. This puts us with the 1-turn clock. Let's Modern Age. Okay, we'll discard the Last Breath. We have Prohibit, Ephemerate for Prohibit. And we have 5 blockers, 6 blockers. I don't think they can win here. Okay. No attacks. Just get back to snap, I guess. A little bit sketchy. You feel scared, like they're holding something and something's about to happen, but I don't think they have anything. We can just attack them. Okay. 6 damage. We can respond to both their spells. Well, I guess we can't, though. Lightning Bolt. Counter. Okay. Got him. So I think I'm going to get rid of the Destroy Evil for a last breath, and then bring in the 4 Hydros. And cut an Ephemerate. The loose focus, I think, is not very good. Cutting a Mold Drifter because it's basically just too high on the top end. But we still have the Dawnbringer Cleric too. I think I'm gonna not play the last breath. Okay, so we've got an early Godfarrow's Faithful, but not that early. I'm still gonna keep it. We have Faithful Preordain. I might just cycle for an island or a plains. Play out turn 2 Dawnbringer Cleric, turn 3 Godfarrow's Faithful plus Chancery, cycle. They play an Epicure. Alright. So I think adding blockers to the board is good. Cleric. Gain some life. Next turn, we're going Faithful. Play the Chancery, pick up the Ash Baron, cycle for an island. Synthesizer and Fire Blast. So they could try to play the Fire Blast here. Synthesizer, they probably want to wait till next turn. And try to Fire Blast the Cleric. Seems like a risky play. You might want to hold a Fire Blast for the Godfarrow's Faithful, I guess. Are they going to swing in and jump attack? No. Broker's Hideout's kind of nice to gain 1 life. Okay, your turn. Go ahead and Fire Blast my Faithful. I'm not attacking. I think I probably want to go Faithful, hold up the Prohibit. I know they're going to use the Fire Blast. Or we can go Faithful, Preordain, hold up Ephemerate, or Prohibit. Dang. Alright, I think I'm going to play this. Get a blue land. Snap the Swifty. Preordain. Just counter the Swift Spear this turn. Let's keep both of these. Getting the Swisser off the table really removes their biggest threat at this point. We can Drifter Ephemerate, maybe? Probably just hardcast and Drifter. Oh no, they might have a, they could have a Pyroblast. Let's see if they respond to this Prohibit. There's a Pyroblast. So now what's their plan? 2 cards in hand. They have 2 instants, then Drifter Ephemerate's bad. I don't really want to hardcast it just to get hit by a brutal, Let's just block here. I don't want to get blown out by a removal spell. I guess what I could have done is block with the Faithful to make them use a removal spell. They're down to 2 cards in hand. They're going to Lightning Bolt me. Lightning Bolt and then Lava Dart me. Okay. Well, thank you for tapping out. Appreciate that. Take 4 damage, go to 11. But now you're never gonna win. Evoke this. So we're gonna draw 4 and gain a life. Potentially draw into a Hydroblast. No Hydroblast. But we can cast the Preordain. Prohibit and an Island. I'm going to keep both of those because I want to make the Island as my land drop, and then Modern Age discarding the plains. Kessig Flame Breather enters the battlefield, but they don't have any attacks. We're actually going to draw a bunch of cards here. Doink. Forgot about the Ephemerate. Got too excited. Cast the Modern Age. Discard this Island. Let's play another Modern Age. Discard a Deep Analysis. No, I should keep it. I wanted to just get greedy and play the other Modern Age, but we have the Prohibited hand, and that was totally the plan. Next turn I can Drifter Ephemerate. I'm going to discard a Great Furnace. Sure. Still have Metalcraft here with the 3 artifacts. They have a Galvanic Blast for the Faithful, but we now have a response because we were not greedy and we kept it up. So we undo their Kessig Flame Breather ping, and we stay at 15. If they attack with a Swift Spear, I can just double block, but there's really no reason for them to attack. We'll discard the Island, I guess, at this point. The Island, play, discard Island. Mortuary Mire, get back the Faithful. Play out the Mole Drifter. Play Faithful. Oops. Oh well. I meant to attack, but that's okay. Okay, they will Lava Dart me. Or, I mean, Lightning Bolt me. And concede. Nice. Alright, let's go to round 4. Alright, we're here in round 4 versus Apis, he said he's 4-0, 8-0. We're 3-0, 6-0. Grab the plains, pass the turn. Let's see what he's got. We can actually snap the creature and then counter it, potentially. Oh no. Is it initiative? No. Okay, pass. is 6 mana. Lead the Stampede. Okay. Can't do anything about that. 1 Quirion. That's all. 1 X-Man's all he got. Dang. Well, we can lose focus that. Bummer. Preordain. I think I want to bottom that, top the Chancery, cycle for an island, play the Chancery. This is going to make our snaps more powerful. And then I can snap and play a Muldrifter this turn. Because I don't have the mana to... I don't have any Drifter Ephemerate. Overgrown Battlement. Okay. One taps. Quirion Ranger, so I have Drift and nothing. Snap. Play out this Muldrifter. Next turn we can snap, Drifter, snap, plus Mancer, plus snap. If they do cycle the Drift, we can Dawnbringer Cleric to get rid of it. That way they can't do like their Reaping the Grave shenanigans. Shield Wall Sentinel. So what are they going to get? Probably another Axebane. Place Overgrown Battlement. So if I snap the Battlement here, how much mana do we have? Not that much. Guess I'm gonna Archaeomancer for snap. Okay, send. We're looking for our last breath, basically. An Ephemerate would seal the deal for sure. Plays the Axebane. Plays the Overgrown. So if he hits something like the filter creature, then we'd risk kind of host here. But as it is, he doesn't have blue mana. Okay, we can snap and counter the Axebane. So we're going to attack. I guess we play out the Faithful in case we get infinite life at some point. Pass. So they have 2 unknowns in their hand. Cerulean Caretaker. So now they have the blue mana that they need to do the drift. Okay, we're going to attack. So they can drift for... Drift? Well, we can play the Cleric to exile the drift. I think I want to snap and replay the Drifter here. We've drawn all of our snaps. Okay, we're going to Broker's Hideout for another land. We are flooding, and we're giving them the opportunity here. So they can transmute the Drift of Phantasms. But what is that going to do for them? That's pretty good. Caretaker. They have Drift in hand. I guess they could Drift right now for the Reaping the Graves. That's really good for them. So we weren't able to get off in time. X-Bane Guardian. Now they have one Drift of Phantasms. Another Axebane. Lead the Stampede. They're really doing it. Repository Scob. Caretaker Shield Walls Tinker. So they can scob back the Reaping the Graves. Or they'll lead the Stampede. Okay, we're just gonna concede. I don't know what's happening here. They did a lot of things. We drew like 50 lands. And more lands coming up. Brutal. Brutal. Okay. Get rid of this. We don't need these. We're just gonna bring in the Destroy Evil, Cleric, some Hydroblasts. Is Cleric good enough? I don't think. Hydroblast is probably where I want to be. So we have a bunch of removal spells. Hopefully that'll be enough. Hydroblast for their combo pieces. That Tuck in hand. Always have it. Let's go. We have a counterspell for the creature. We have a snap. If we draw into anything, we're good. This is, once again, we're just playing off the top of our deck, but I feel like we have to do that. They play a 1-drop. Grab an island. Play out the island. Pass. So next turn we'll probably just play out the Mortuary Mire. Hopefully they go for the Axebane here. That was really big for us. Pretty much the best possible scenario at that point. Okay, we have Sunscape Familiar in play. Pass. I'm just going to F6 here, because if I want to snap, it's going to be on my turn, and they were all in on that quick Axebane, and we had the loose focus. Lucky, lucky. Alright, we're going to try to keep a Last Breath, or, you know, loose focus, I guess. Something good. Last Breath is super good versus them, obviously. Okay, so we have Prohibit Snap, Modern Age. I'm going to keep. Plays out a wall. And grab my planes. So 1 mana, plays a Quirion, so they can untap this, play a 2-mana spell. Overgrown Battlement. Another Cerulean Caretaker, so we can now snap the battlement and then we can counter on the way down. Pass. That's a lot of mana that they can generate with that battlement at this point. Plays a Tinderwall. If they have an Axebane, I'm hosed. They have it. So they have Overgrown and one Unknown. Cast Preordain. Looking for a Last Breath. We find Echoing Truth. So I'm going to top both of these. Play land and pass. Echoing Truth can stop them from comboing off. And we can prohibit the wall. Okay, so they have they have a bajillion mana. I'm gonna counter it. There's a possibility that they have the two best cards in their hand and they win the game. But they also could not do that. They're gonna transmute for something. Shield Wall Sentinel gets, that's a tutor here. So if they have... Okay, they drift. Cast Winding Way. So they lose a Freed from the Real and a Forest. They have this Tamiyo's Safekeeping that they lose as well. So they have Caretaker, Drift of Phantasms in hand. Okay, so I suppose they're going to drift for something. 5 mana. Plays Caretaker. Red. Drift of Phantasms. Lead the Stampede. Cast Lead the Stampede. There's a Galvanic and a Tuk-Tuk. So no matter what, they're going to be able to combo off, which kind of stinks for me. But they don't have a payoff in hand. They have infinite mana, but no payoff. So we're going to Modern Age. Discard the DA. So we just have to hope that they whiff, basically. Let's just draw cards. They can play out their hand, and then we just get to see what their last card is, and then see if they have the win or not. Alchemist. They have the Tuk-Tuk in hand, so they can make a bunch of mana, and no matter what we did, they would have been able to play the Tuk-Tuk and replay the Axebane, and then just win from there. Like, we could have bounced this, but I think they would have been able to go off anyway. Maybe not. Someone can tell me. There's a Tuk-Tuk. 2 cards in hand. Okay, nice rip. And they whiff. Okay, perfect. But, it's being Overgrown. So now they're going to play other creatures. So I suppose if we find a Last Breath, we can exile this, and then... Alright. Discard this land. Familiar. Modern Age. Cast Modern Age again. I don't think Echoing Truth does anything for me here, so I'm just going to draw some more cards. Winding Way finds Quirion and Drift of Phantasms, and we can just scoop. Okay, cool. Good games. On to round 5. Final round here versus Monsiamba, and I'm gonna guess that they're on burn. That's my guess here. And I don't think this is gonna be a keepable hand. We're too slow. We're gonna mulligan. Yeah, this seems okay. I'm gonna keep and discard, get rid of a snap or a preordain. So probably a snap here. Yikes. Some sort of wildfire strategy. We will get a plains. Yeah, it's just Jund wildfire nonsense. Cascading into big creatures. Casting edicts and cast downs and the good stuff people like to play. We'll top both of these. We want to stop a wildfire from occurring. They're likely going to be playing the initiative and stuff like that. Three mana for the opponent. Has Llanowar Visionary, so they're going to have potentially the initiative next turn. Alright, cycle. Grab an island. Let's play out the Modern Age here, discarding the Deep Analysis. Get a flyer onto the battlefield as soon as possible, basically, but it's going to be way too slow. Ugh. Okay, they play a Packmate. Land. So they cannot cast the Pirate unless they make another land drop next turn. They can cast the Avenging Hunter if they choose to. Draw a card. Can discard a Preordain. Let's Preordain here. Mancer, Muldrifter. Definitely don't want the Arcane Mancer. The Muldrifter's probably okay. Let's just Deep Analysis. Okay, pass. Now we have Faithful to try to gain life and live. So if they cast Avenging Hunter, we can like play the Faithful and like try to live through stuff. They're attacking for 5, so we're gonna go to 11. And they did not play out the Avenging Hunter, so I think they probably have a boarding party. Let's cycle for an island. I'm going to take my time a little bit here. Counter that. I want to be able to block. So we got a 13. We're going to be taking 3 from this, so that ends up putting us at 10. We can block here. If they play a pirate, we could maybe Echoing Truth it. Boarding party. They hit a cast down. So ridiculous. Okay, I guess we just... I don't like it. I don't like where we are. I'm just gonna scoop the game. Okay, so Last Breath bad. Revoke Existence is pretty good. It looks like they're like pretty greedy with their mana base. We definitely want the Hydroblasts. The Lose Focus we want. Oops. Echoing Truth, not very much. Destroy Evil, yeah. Let's bring in kind of one of each and sort of like move things around. Now we know what they're up to, so we can keep a better hand this time. I'm basically going to be, so this seems like an okay keep. I'm gonna get a plains and get an island, hold up the Hydroblast. Hydroblast is really good against the pirate, but Destroy Evil is not. Destroy Evil is going to be good against their Avenging Hunter, but it's not good once because it's already hit the table. Cycle for an island. Play out the island. We need to try to make sure that they can't cast their Wildfire on this turn. So if they Wildfire right now, we're just going to counter it. Yep. Fully on board with doing that. So they don't get to ramp this turn. Okay, that's kind of a good draw. We're going to grab an island and get rid of their land. They play another land. Play out the Faithful and the Modern Age. Don't really want to discard the Flicker, but I will. Maybe we can just discard the Prohibit here. We kind of need to keep the Flicker in hand because they could have a Relic. We're going to cycle. What are you getting? Mountain. I'll get rid of Snap. Okay, Spellbomb, kind of expected. Said we didn't really want to get rid of the Flicker because that's our way to really close out the game in the end. Draw a card. Alright, I guess we're discarding the Prohibit here. We're going to Mortuary Mire to get back the Faithful. Let's see if they crack. They will. So we lost our Revoke Resistance and our one Prohibit. I'm going to evoke this Drifter. Draw some cards. Alright, I like Lose Focus here. We can play out the Sunscape Familiar, and then we have Lose Focus for potential Avenging Hunter. I'm going to Lose Focus to get back my Drifter. Bolt goes away. So now they can still kill the Familiar here. Okay. Five mana. They're going to do nothing. We'll cast a Drifter. They have nothing again. We attack. Now we can get back to Flicker and then start going off. I think I get rid of the Drifter because I can Flicker it back. So that's going to be the plan. I'm going to go ahead and play out the Familiar. Play Mancer, try to get back Flicker. Attack you. Now we can just get back our Moldrifter, and then the Sunscape Familiar, we can evoke and flicker it and everything. They play a Thorn. The emblems, the worst. Okay. They're gonna not draw into a... They draw a Bolt. It's frustrating. Find an Archaeomancer. So Sunscape Familiar. We can flicker here. Play the Archaeomancer. Guess we just cast the Modern Age. Let's put our Moldrifter on top. Okay, so we can start drawing cards again. Kind of annoying that they had the, what, 3 bolts in hand, plus Galblast, plus Nile Spellbomb. That's just how the deck works, basically. One, two, three, Cannonade. So I just used Flicker there as a ritual, and then basically, then I can counter the Cannonade. So the plan here is to just draw the Drifter and then loot, but just discard whatever else we loot, and then play the Archaeomancer for the Flicker, and then cast the Moldrifter. Galblast. I have everything. Cool. Discard this Ash Barrens. Mancer. Get back the Flicker. Cast this Moldrifter. Land. Alright. We should be able to take the Monarchy back now. We'll see. We've got Ephemerate for Hydroblast. Can just flicker the Archaeomancer to get back to Hydroblast. They can attack for 1 if they want. It seems they're just going to pass on that. We get a creature. And we send. Alright, that's going to be pretty much the game here. Take them out. Now we get the Monarchy. They have nothing. And I can flicker here. Get back the Archaeomancer. Draw the Archaeomancer. Alright. We have double Archaeomancer, okay. And then play the Mancer, get back Hydroblast, back to Loose Focus. Okay, we draw Fam. So we can just block with the Familiar potentially then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plays Boarding Party. So what do they cascade into? Packmate. I think what I'm going to do, they just played a land. I'm going to flicker here. And then I'm going to counter both of these with my Loose Focus. Then I'll Ephemerate to get back to flicker. This one. Replicate 1 time. Okay, pointing at the Packmate. Go ahead and Ephemerate here. Get back to flicker. So you lose both your creatures from your cascading. They can now attack, and we'll just... I should have held the Ephemerate there. Just got greedy. Now I have to block or let them have the card. I think it's fine. Okay, they're just gonna scoop. Perfect. I think I'm gonna go deeper on the Hydroblast and a little bit of revoke existence. You could maybe play the Dust to Dust as well, but it doesn't feel that good to me. Revoke existence can get rid of their now Spellbomb, and then it also can eat their land. And we pretty much just want to have the Hydroblast up early. Okay, we have turn 2 revoke existence, so I'm gonna keep plays a tap land. Just looking to beat a turn 2 Wildfire. If they have an untapped land into a Wildfire, it's pretty bad. They don't. Okay, I want to take out their green source, I believe. They have another green source, but no Wildfire right now. I'm gonna go Familiar, play Modern Age. Looking to discard the Deep Analysis. They might have this removal spell here, and we can just Mortuary it back later. Oh, they're gonna Pyroblast. Okay. So on my turn, I want to Archaeomancer back the Revoke. Kills it, okay. Now we cannot Archaeomancer the Revoke Existence back. We draw another one, so let's get rid of that land. And Mortuary Mire back the Familiar. I will take it this turn, pass. But my next turn I'm just going to play Archaeomancer for the Revoke Existence, I think. Maybe that's not that great. Looks like they're stuck on lands, so let's do that. Mancer, get back the Revoke Existence. Interesting that we just drew 2. All the sideboard cards that we sided in, we just draw right away. It feels good to stick it to the greedy mana base over here. Alright, let's play Sunscape Familiar. Go ahead and attack. Snap this. So what I'm doing here is I'm setting up for another revoke turn, or whatever. Just trying to draw cards for the moment. Okay, another Familiar. Plays a land. So they could play out, they don't have a 3-drop. Okay. We're going to draw. Looking for lands. Final land. So let's just get rid of their Tree of Tales. Pass. Okay, they're cycling. The Crows and Tusker. They're gonna grab a mountain. Okay. We have infinite mana, or infinite life here with the Faithfuls and the Archaeomancer. Plays a Llanowar Visionary. Okay. You can go Familiar, Snap, Faithful, or Faithful, Snap, Familiar, Mancer. Okay, let's go Familiar, Drifter, Snap, Drifter. I'm going to pick up the Mortuary Mire so it's not exposed anymore. And now I can flicker here as a ritual. And then Mancer, get back Flicker. So I will now display that I have infinite life. and see what the opponent does. Probably nothing. So this actually just eats their clock a little bit. Okay, they do concede to the infinite life. Thank you, opponent. So we ended up with a 4-1. We had a close match versus Apis on walls, and I specifically was trying to play a list that was pretty good against walls with the 2 last rests, but I did not draw them. I think maybe I should have mulliganed a little bit harder on the draw there, and we beat them in game 2 with the timely lose focus. So we ended up with a 4-1. We beat Kuldotha. We didn't get to play against Blue-Black Terror at all. So, unfortunately, we don't get to know whether or not that's a good matchup. I think the Echoing Truth was kind of mediocre. I think it's probably good enough against Kuldotha, but we were able to beat a good Kuldotha draw anyway, and Snap just removes the creatures from the battlefield while advancing our game plan. Echoing Truth was actually really bad against the Walls deck, where we couldn't advance our own game plan while doing things, so maybe we don't keep that. So moving forward, I'd probably play 4 snaps, get rid of the Echoing Truth. These seem okay overall. Maybe the Dawnbreaker Cleric could be a Strands or something else. Not sure. Loose Focus, generally bad, but you saw that it was really, really good against the Cascade deck. We got him good. And it was also good to be able to hit our Axebane really early. So, it has pluses and minuses. Overall, I don't really like the card, but I think it's decent. And then the rest of the deck was pretty much fine. I still am a little bit nervous with Familiars against a Blue-Black Terror opponent. So, we'll keep testing it. We'll see what we do. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.